100 episodes of All-American. That is a major milestone in itself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lawrence Report. Tonight's broadcast discussing episode 9, which is the 100th episode of All-American. And man, we have come a long, long way. I remember watching this show from the very beginning, and I was hooked on this show right here. And for me, I hope y'all don't mind that I just take a little bit of time, and I want you guys to do this as well. You know, I'm going to go ahead and give my rating. My rating for this episode was a 9. It could have been a 10, but I'll explain later why it could have been a 10. There's some elements I think they was missing, but for me it was a 9. But like I said, I'm going to, share a little bit of my favorite moments from All-American. And shout out to the cast, the crew. You know, you guys bought it every single day, providing a great top tier show for people like me as a fan. So for me, some of my favorite All-American moments, going back to the pilot episode, with Spencer, living out there in Crenshaw and then arriving on Billy's Baker doorstep, when that whole thing coming together. I also love the Vegas scene, right? I also love the parents. Whenever, a lot of times the episode, they'll have the parents, an episode that basically dedicated to them. Also, I always love this right here, the crossovers. We had Simone and Brixton, and then Spencer and some of the cast. Well, some of the cast that end up taking a trip to Brixton. Big crossover. Love that right there. Oh, cabin episodes. Always love the cabin episodes of All-American. And of course, my favorite couples. I'm talking about Spolivia, and then we finally got to Jordala. So, man, it's just been so many great moments on this show. And if this is truly the end, I've had a blast live tweeting this show every single Monday. I would literally sit in front of my TV with all the other people live tweeting this show all the way back from day one. You're a big fan of a show when you work this show around your current work schedule. Yeah, that's how much of a fan I was of All-American, and I still am, But earlier I did say that my rating for this was a 9. But also, I want you guys to comment and tell me in the comments, what has been your favorite episodes or your favorite moments of All-American. Feel free to comment below. And the reason why I said it was a 9, and it could have been a 10, but we did not get, I anticipated this. I anticipated a Spolivia Rain kiss. That's what I thought we was going to have. We didn't get no confetti whenever they won. We didn't get no champion, those guys on the stage, with the championship trophy. We didn't get that right there. We didn't get no fireworks. I mean, y'all was at the Rose Bowl Stadium. Like, I feel like they could have done it bigger, but that's just my opinion. Like I said, comment below. Tell me your thoughts about this episode. I want to hear your favorite All-American episodes. I would definitely like to know. Now, let's get into episode 9 of All-American. Like I said, I'm so proud of them. Major milestone. Major milestone. But episode 9, Spencer, he's having these dreams about Sean. And if you remember, going back to Sean, all the way back to season 1. Now, I don't know about y'all, but last night when I was looking at this, it made me want to rewatch All-American episodes 1 and 2, basically the Crenshaw years, right? And Sean always told Spencer, even though he was a rival and a hater, he always said, well, Spencer got somewhere else better to be, right? And I got this clip for y'all in case y'all forgot what I'm talking about.
So get your ass up, shake off whatever this is, and go. Now, don't you got somewhere important you gotta be?
My son was always coming at me. Yeah, but he wouldn't allow anyone else to. He'd always tell us, Spence got somewhere better to be.
What up, Spence? You want it with us today or what?
Nah. Spence always got somewhere better to be. I see you around, Spence.
Now, it's obvious, Spencer, he is not only in this championship game for him, but it's for his entire community. We know that there's another Crenshaw GOAT, another Crenshaw legend himself. Chris came back, right? So he was trying to tell Spence, like, yo, you not only planned for yourself, but you're playing for all of us, basically, right? And Spencer's having these dreams. Well, I guess you can say I don't know if they consider be dreams or nightmares when it comes to Sean. And, you know, Liv's like, this is like the second or third time this happened this week. I'm kind of worried about you. And he's like, yeah, I know. And Spencer kind of, you know, teases that him and Liv, you know, are potentially going to start officially living together, like moving in, right? So Spencer, you know, while the pressure's mounting to get to NFL, you know, he ends up taking a tour of all the fields that he has been a part of, right? And, you know, while he's at this one field, you know, we see Sean there. Like I said, Sean is there. And also he's about to be chased by other little Spencers, which I thought was funny because, you know, sometimes when you go back to where you're from, you know, you have to soak in those memories. I think that's what Spencer was definitely doing on this episode. He's reflecting. He's in deep reflection about, you know, everything he's been through, all the fields that he has touched, you know. Oh, and I hope y'all don't mind, but for this episode right here, I strictly just want to reflect and talk about Spencer and football for this episode. So I won't be talking about Jordala, Coop, or Liv in her book, any of those storylines right there. I just want to focus on Spencer. I hope that's cool with y'all. But as we continue to go on, you know, one of the things that I absolutely loved this right from Grace James. She basically had these replica fields of every single field that Spencer James has played on, right? And she even has one more little replica cup, right? And she says, well, you know, this is for whatever NFL team that will be lucky enough to get you. So I thought that was sweet of Grace James to do that right there. That is a great present. That's something that, you know, money can't buy or anything like that. That type of gift right there that Grace James gave Spencer came straight from the heart. It's always good to have some of the OG Crenshaw characters come along on this show. And I'm talking about the one and only Chris. You know, Spencer called him back. He's like, listen, I'm having these dreams about Sean. I need some advice. I need to talk to somebody who's been there with me from the jump when it comes to Sean. And we know that, you know, Chris goes all the way back to those earlier seasons of All-American. And, you know, they was reminiscing about some of their games. And Chris was like, yo, we could have did even more bigger things if it wasn't for Billy Baker coming to, you know, poach you, right? And Chris, you know, he kind of came out and admitted that he was jealous of Spencer. This is nothing new. Spencer has had a lot of rivals, a lot of jealousy, a lot of haters, a lot of friends that turn enemies. It's nothing new. And it's just a normal day in the life of Spencer James, right? And Chris was like, yeah, I was kind of upset and jealous, you know, that, you know, you went after your dreams, you put your family first. And Spencer seemed to be like, okay, nothing new. But, you know, he tells Spencer, like, yo, you got to get focused and stop thinking about old Sean, because, you know, this is the biggest game of your life. I know you're kind of nervous, but you got bigger fish to fry than worried about, you know, the ghosts of the past when it comes to Sean. Spencer, you know, he's taking this these trips on all these fields he played on. He comes across the one and only Asher, right? And him and Asher, they're reflecting on those days, you know, back at Beverly. And, you know, it just made me miss those older episodes. I know I probably said this already, but it kind of just made me miss some of those earlier episodes of All-American, you know, as we're reflecting on this show as a fan, even as Spencer is going across these fields. And, you know, they end up calling up Jordan to come, you know, play a game of catch with him. But I hate, well, this is pretty funny. They played Asher, right? It was like, no, Asher, you can't play with us, bro. I'm sorry. In the words of DJ Khaled, you played yourself. That can't happen because we don't want Jamie on our back, right? And Asher has this peculiar look on his face about not playing football, right? But we know that Asher is about to, you know, do something different a little bit later, right? Now, I don't know how Spencer ended up forgetting one of the little football replicas that his mother gave him, but Chris was still on the field. Chris was just having some reflections himself. And, you know, he actually gives Spencer the replica that he was looking for. And we see another Crenshaw goat herself. I'm talking about Coop. Coop comes through, right? And, you know, they're all reflecting. right? And Spencer is finally able to unlock what Sean was trying to tell him. Now, the only thing that we was missing, some of the characters that we was missing, which is we're going to see Darnell on the next episode, right? But I would have loved to have seen Kia from Crenshaw and maybe Frosto. Y'all remember Frosto? I would love to have seen him as well. But, you know, as those three are basically getting ready to go, we see a reflection of Sean, you know, on the screen. And only Coop sees Sean, but it's all good because, again, when it comes to Sean, he was a rival, but he always kind of, I feel like he wanted better for Spencer, right? And Spencer realizing that, you know, he's not only playing for himself, he's playing for everything from the past, you know, when it comes to all those friends from Crenshaw and Beverly and beyond, but he's also playing for his future. He knows that he has his core that's going to be right there rocking with him until the very end. And I don't know if y'all ever noticed this, but a lot of times I look at my clock, right, and I'll see around the 8:30 mark, because I'm on the East Coast, right, around the 8:30 mark of All-American. This is when the football scenes always get started, right? At the top of the show, you have all the drama, all the mess, whatever. But when it comes to football, it's always around the 8:30 mark, right? And they gave us, I believe, roughly around, I think it was close, maybe 20 minutes plus of football, right? For this big championship game, right? And Spencer, they're doing work. But at halftime, this right here don't make no sense to me. I never heard this one I'm about to say. They're down a man. I'm talking about Asher's team, Coastal, right? And Wade and Jabari come up with the idea to let Asher suit up to play football as a receiver. I never heard of a coach suiting up to go play football. That didn't make sense to me. But the writing, that was different. I ain't never heard that. But anyway, that was a head scratcher. But so Asher is able to suit up. Asher is actually about to score a touchdown, right? He has his big football moment, and his girl Jamie, she's pacing, she's upset. Everybody's shocked when he comes into the stadium. You know, he just looking around, taking in the moment, right? And this is one last time that Asher was able to suit up. He scores a touchdown, but the one thing I noticed, you know, because he got the heart condition, right? There wasn't no personnel, you know, no medical personnel that went to the floor, not the floor, but the field to check on him to make sure that he was okay. That was crazy in itself. But he got up and he seemed to be okay, right? But at the same time, we got Mac and Spencer. They're going out on the sidelines, and he's like, yo, Mac's like, listen, I want y'all to remember, it was my analytics that got y'all here. So Coach Kenny's caught in the middle, and Coach Kenny, and finally Coach Kenny grew some balls. It's like, yo, I'm going to do what I know best, right? Spencer, I trust you. Go make the play. Help us get this touchdown, get this victory. And they do that. And Jordan gets a block. We see everybody on the sideline happy, jumping up and down. Spencer wins the game. Hey, it's championship time, baby. The celebration is here. So yes, it was a culmination of Coach Mac's analytics. But don't forget, before that, you had that number one guy, talking about the one and only, Spencer James. So yeah, they are officially champions. For me, I was hoping that we was going to see some type of Spalivia kiss, right? This would have been a perfect opportunity for a Rain kiss to come through, but I feel like the CW, the writers, production, whoever, they dropped the ball, right? And then on top of that, you know, Spencer, you know, he wants Liv to move in with him, right? He ends up giving her a box. And at first I was like, maybe a proposal, but no, he wouldn't do it at this place, right? It'd be more of a better situation, more of a better background, right? But it's basically a key to come live with him at the beach house because he wants to wake up to her every single day, every single morning, right? So yeah, Spencer's football dreams, everything is aligning. All the stars are aligning for Spencer James. It looks like everything is going to be smooth sailing, hopefully, from here on out. But yeah, loved episode 100. This is, for me, this has just been a great show, and I'm going to miss it whenever it finally goes off the air. It's been a great run, you know. If this is the final season, I can say that I've enjoyed tweeting about the show every single Monday, you know, and, you know, I'm wishing the crew, the cast, and everyone that is involved, you know, with making the show the best in the future. So that's my thoughts on this episode of All American. Please comment below as well. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Lawrence Report.